Okay, now I'm back. And I want to show you, this is the card we're going to be making. Happy New Year. Using some of the brushed gold designer or specialty paper that's in the annual catalog. And this is the, can't think of the name of it, dang it. Anyway, just a sec, I'll go tell you. It's one of the Simply Elegant pieces of designer series papers. And black there. And the thing that's so cool is when you open this up, you get a pop-up like this. And I'm using Way to Goat for the goats. The girls are celebrating, and because they're out for the night, they had to wear eyeshadow. And then they're celebrating 2022. But I think that the man goat, he's not too impressed by their antics. Anyway, this is the card that I'm going to show you how to make. And I'm going to start with just the mechanism first. We'll see how long it takes for me to just do that part. So, you need a piece of 11, you need a piece of 11 by 4 1/4 for the card base. And then you need a piece that's 4 1/4 by 12. And I don't have a whole lot of 12 by 12 cardstock. So I am in the process of trying to make one where this is designer series paper. And I think it's going to work out pretty well. I will have to show you that. I'll post that card on my page when I get it done. Anyway, this is the 12 by 4 1/4. And you score it at 6. And again, half an inch and a half from 6. And an inch and a half this way from 6. Then you need to measure in a half an inch on each side of this of the center 6-inch fold, because you're going to make a slit right along there, and I'll show you how an easy way to do it. And then you need to measure 1 inch from this fold, 1 inch this way, and 1 inch this way, and then you're going to score this line and this line. So all these solid lines are actually score lines. And so I have already done this. I wanted to show you on the white because it doesn't show up very well on the black. So this is the piece, the 12 by 4 1/4, and I folded it at the 6-inch line, and then I put it on the trimmer to make that slit. I put it on the trimmer so that it was just slightly over. See, can you see the fold line? Oh, let me move it out this way. So the fold line is just past the groove. And then you cut from the 1/2 inch to the other 1/2 inch through both layers. And that gives you a really nice slit. Okay, and this I have already scored, and you only score this on the one side. So when you fold it, you're going to be folding the angles like a valley fold, and like that on both sides. And that's a valley fold. Come on. I want it to be a nice crisp fold. There we go.
Little one.
For some reason, our dog is being very... Last night was a really tough night with all the fireworks. And so she's being very clingy today. And she thinks I should be in the living room sitting with her instead of being in here showing you how to make this card. Okay, I'm going to fold that first this way. Then I'm going to fold it that way, and maybe that'll help it fold better. There we go. So it folds down like that. So on the right side, this is the way it's going to be. And that makes this mechanism here. Okay, so we have the outside piece that's 11 by 4 1/4, and we have this, which is in. Can you believe that? This was an old piece of basic black I had, and the color's entirely different. I'll be darned. So we have those two pieces, and then we have this is the mechanism that goes up and down, and it is 3 1/4 by 5 inches. And I have designer series paper that goes with it. The designer series paper is 4 by 4 1/4. And you need to score a 1/2 inch on the bottom of this piece here. So I'll put it up here so you can see better. So you score 1/2 inch there. And fold it up. And then you put your designer series paper on, and you want it so that you want the designer series paper on the side where the fold is folded up. So it goes on like that. And I learned the hard way when I made my sample that you should decorate this before you put it in to the card base. So I have using the Fun alphabet, which has numbers on it. I cut out of gold foil 2020. Okay, come on. And I remembered this time to put sticky paper on the back of it. Yeah, right, so now I can't get it off. Rather than put down little piece, using glue dots to hold it down or multi-purpose liquid glue. 2,000. It doesn't have to be exact because it's supposed to be spontaneous. They're partying and having a good time, and they're being worried about whether everything's properly spaced. 2, okay, where'd the other 2 go? We have to have 2 2s. And I did have 2 2s. Yep, there it is in my tub. Might as well get out the Happy New Year stuff too. This take your pick really is so helpful, and it comes with not only the poker tool, the pokey tool, but it also comes with an attachment that is for scoring. So this one, it has the scoring on it. It has a thicker ball and the smaller ball. And that's what I used to score those lines. And then it also has this that you can put in, and on the other side is the spatula. And then they both have the putty that you can pick rhinestones up and things like that. Okay, so there's that. And this goes on the card base. So I'm going to put some glue along here. And I'm going to put it down so that it's just right at the fold line, but not on it. But just right there, like that. And it sticks up like so. And then this piece fits down over. I guess I need to make my slot a little bit longer. Come on, just a little cut. Because you want it to have it move up and down freely. Let's see if that fits now. And you also need to have placed that in the middle. There we go. So that fits over like this. And when you fold it up, it slides down. And slide. So it slides like that. And that goes down. So that's the way, that's the mechanism for it. And I'm going to decorate it a little bit. So this part here, need to fold this like this and trace on it to get the angle. So you line it up. And trace with pencil. properly lined up. And then you just snip the corners off. And that's going to fit in here, like so. And this piece is, the white is what, 4 by 4 and a quarter. Actually, I kind of like to have it 4 by 4, 4 by 4. I'm going to go trim it. Because I want to have some space around the edges. So it looks like that. So that's how that's going to be. And I'm going to stamp a greeting. The greeting is from my favorite Peaceful Deer stamp set. And on the sample card, I wanted to use the Wishing You a Wonderful Year and Friendships Dear. And I like that, but I think it's a little bit too fussy, so this time I'm just going to stamp Let's Celebrate. And kick off the new year in good style. And I'm going to stamp before I glue it down so that if I get it crooked, I can turn it over. Okay, now let's see if I can get this straight. Not try it again. I like to be able to stand up so I can look at the snail. Sorry, seal, not snail. We no longer carry snail. That goes like that. And then we're going to decorate this part here too. This piece is yikes. Always cover your pads, Sue. This piece is 1 1/4 by 4 inches. And it's going to fit right in here. And I was supposed to trace it before I put that down. Dang. Okay, we'll do the same thing for this. Now I've got directional, so I want to make sure I have it the right direction. So I want it to go like this. So I want the angles to go this way. And I want a little bit of space, so I'm going to space it up. Let's do it this way. Let's move it up. Approximately equal to what I had. And trace it again. On the wrong side. And then cut the on your tracing. And that goes here. Like that. before you can pull it back up. But you have to make sure that it doesn't interfere with the folds. Oh, come on. Get it even. There, that's better. Because you have to have these be able to fold easily. Okay. And then on another piece of paper is for the front. And this is 4 by 4 1/4, and it goes here. And we're not going to do anything special with it, just to add decoration to that part. To carry the theme through. Like that. Okay, so we're ready with those, with that part. Let's go back to the front of the card. Before we put it all together, let's decorate the front. This is 4 by 5 1/4, standard designer series paper. I mean standard layering size. Yuck. Let's straighten this out. Okay. And I have cut out from the gold foil paper, Happy New Year. Where's the rest of it? The rest of it's on the floor. And I discovered when I made my sample that if you lay it on there, that it really doesn't show up too well. So I have a couple of pieces of black cardstock that I'm going to mount this onto. The dogs are saying, hi. Oh, this. Ron went outside. The dogs think that somebody's here. And Blake is the one that does all the barking. So I'm going to make Happy like that and trim off the excess. And then put the New Year on the other piece. Nobody's going to get in our house without us knowing it because of our dog. He will let us know. He lets us know if he hears anything. Excuse me. Tickle in my throat. No, not COVID. At least I hope it's not COVID. And I hope you all are surviving without COVID. I just heard that pastor's family of the Methodist, of the Presbyterian church here in town, all ended up with COVID. And that's kind of scary. We just now started going back to in-person worship, except for the fact that we had a broken water pipe this Sunday, or on Friday, and we weren't sure whether we would have water to the church or not, so we decided to do a Zoom worship. But as the virus, this new Omicron, starts taking hold out here, we may have to go back to Zoom on a regular basis. We just tried it last Sunday for the first time, and it really was kind of nice. Only problem is that we have a lot of people in the congregation who do not do Zoom, who do not do much in the way of internet at all. So there we have Happy New Year. So all we have, well, no, let's go ahead and, now we can go ahead and put it together. So we put this piece over the top, like that. And I'm going to put adhesive. Actually, I think I'll use multi-purpose liquid glue. And bring it down and match it with this bottom edge. Like that. And then take the other side and do the same thing. And always my folds seem to be crooked. And line it up. With the other side. Like that. So when it folded up, it should fold flat. So now all we have to do is decorate it, put the goats on it. And I wanted to show you, I don't have the goats all cut out, and for the sake of brevity, I am not going to finish this card beyond the, well, I can put the one goat on. We'll see. Anyway, I wanted to show you how to get a reverse image. This is what I did on this one. It's not as light as what, it's not as dark as what I would like. So I'm going to do it again to show you how it's done. Some of you may already know how to do this. This is one that has been stamped like the stamp is. And then we're going to do one with a reverse image. And I like to do it, you could do it with this glossy surface, but I like using our craft mat, silicone craft mat, because it seems to hold the ink better and less likely to smear. So you put your stamp, your animal down, then pick it up, take the paper away, ink it up, and you stamp onto the silicone mat. And I'm going to do it again so I get a really good dark image. So I'm going to stamp it again. Then you put your paper in, trying not to smear, and you stamp it. I'm going to put the magnet on there, and you stamp it again. And it doesn't matter whether that one's inked or not, because that's not the side you're going to have out. So when you lift it up, you have your image in reverse. So this was the first, and that's the other way. And now when the girls are dancing together. So that's how you do that. And you might wonder how I got their eyeshadow on. I took our soft pastels assortment, and one of the gals has blue eyeshadow, and I just kind of rubbed it on there with the corner of the pastel, and then smudged it with my finger. And then the other one with the green. Or I could have used purple. With a little bit of smudge to smooth it out. So then I would cut them out, and you glue them to this portion right here. Just to that portion, you just put the glue on there. I'll do one of them so you can see. Would be not a really good fancy cut. Kind of a hurried cut job. I just made a mistake, because you need a little bit of that space between their legs to glue with. So let me do the other one. And remember to leave some space, some cardstock there. Like that. So cut it out. The thing I like about this reverse image one is that when you have the image on the back and you're using a die to cut it out, you know exactly where to place the die to get a good cut. Because you see, it's just right the same way as on the front side. And it gives you a really good guide on where to place the die. I should give credit for this technique for the tutorial. Heejung Hunsberger is the person that I saw this from, and followed her directions. She has really great directions, and I thank her very much for it. Okay, so to put the dancer on here, I'm going to put adhesive on this part right there and place her down. And get rid of the extra adhesive because you don't want it to stick. And then we're going to put the grumpy old goat in the center stage. They're watching the proceedings, and he's not so sure whether that's going to work or not. See, now, this one, since I cut out the legs, there's not much there to glue. Just a little bit of the legs to glue it down. So, it still works, but otherwise, it's better to have a little bit more space there to make it more secure. So that is the technique. Now, I was telling you it poses quite a thickness here. So as it folds up, look how the goat folds right up nice and flat. But it's fairly thick. So I thought if we use designer series paper for this 12 by 4 1/4, that it would take away some of the bulk. So this is what I have. This is one of the designer series papers that goes in the Celebration bundle for $100 purchase, and it coordinates with the this Friendly Hello stamp set. The stamp set and the designer series paper come together as a bundle with a $100 purchase of product. So I made it with the designer series paper, and it's quite a bit thinner, you can see. I did have to reinforce at the edges of the cut with tape because the designer series paper is a little more fragile and it had cracked. You can kind of see the crack there. So you have to be kind of careful about that, but by reinforcing it, I think it'll be fine. And I don't have to put designer series paper on top of it because it's already there. I will put a piece of white in here to have for the greeting, and I plan to use this bird. I'm going to use this card base pool party. And so this would be glued like this. And then this fits over the top of it. Stop shaking. Come on in there straight. Well, I may have to adjust. There we go. It'll come up like that. And then I have some flowers I'm going to put along here and on the sides here. So that's going to be one for a celebration card. And it'll be like that. And then the greeting down here. So thank you for watching. This is Sue, the Soggy Stamper. If you have any stamping needs, you visit my website, creationsbysue.stampinup.net. My blog is www.soggystamper.com. And this video probably will be up on YouTube tomorrow. And I will have them the measurements on my blog this afternoon. I'll do a blog post and write down the measurements for the different things so that you can make one for yourself. So thanks for watching and Happy New Year. Let's celebrate. Let's hope that 2022 is a better year than 2021 was. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you next Friday. Bye-bye.